Alrighty, people. How you doing? How you living? How you feeling? Great to have you on today's stream. We're going to be answering as many questions as we possibly can. We do appreciate y'all for being here with us. I mean, probably if you're watching this, you made the playoffs. And if you're not, I mean, it's awesome to have you here. I mean, you're absolutely welcome, and thanks for hanging out. Maybe you just like hanging out with us, but if you're here, I'm assuming it's because you made the playoffs, baby. So big congratulations to you. Michael actually in the chat said something similar here. I'm noticing he says, "Good evening, Zach and Badaki, and to all the subscribers. Hope everyone is advancing to the playoffs or did advance." So big shout out to everybody out there. Hopefully you made the playoffs. What's up, Brizzleton? What's up, D Macy? Bridgerton says made the playoffs in 7 out of 9 leagues. You love to see that. Big ups to you. This Chris says made the playoffs thanks to y'all, 18-man league. You love to see it. Christian says he made the playoffs. Tez says playoffs in 4 out of 5 leagues. Salute. Appreciate y'all for being here with us. It's great to be here. We're gonna have a great stream for you. Do us a favor, hit that like button as today's stream begins. We have a like goal of 50 likes. With your help, I do believe we can get there. Here's the dealio. We are going to start the stream by looking at the latest news. All right, so we're all on the same page. And you know, so we know what's going down in the world of the NFL. Let me bring you back over here. Okay. But just to let you guys know, if you do want to prioritize your fantasy question, we'll be answering a ton of fantasy questions today. And if you want to prioritize your question, you can do that through the Flock Fantasy website. It is the pinned comment. And I also just put the link in the chat. No obligation to do so, but that is the best way to, you know, get your question answered in a prioritized way. And anytime we go live, if there are questions there, that's where we'll start. Then we'll come back over to YouTube. But, all right, Isaac Rindo did not practice on Tuesday. This is not new news. This is not surprising. They, you know, said he's probably not going to practice all week, but he has a chance to play.
Right.
So that track still, I would say it's 50-50. Kadarius Toney waived by the Browns. It was actually funny because the Browns muffed a punt.
Yeah, he muffed
and
the punt. Not the
I
Browns.
was like,
Kadarius
who is that? And I was like, wait, that looks like Kadarius Toney though. Oh yeah, that is Kadarius. I had no idea he was even on the Browns. He gone.
GG's, brother. Thank you for your service.
Yeah, Zamir White placed on IR. This is actually great news for anyone who picked up Sincere McCormick like myself in a couple leagues. Just kind of stashed him away after that first game. And this is just another indication that they're going to give him a real run. Tomlin says Pickens has an outside chance to play week 15. All reports that I've seen is that he will not play. So that would be a surprise. It also is a terrible matchup against the Eagles. It's the worst matchup you can ask for. So if Pickens doesn't play, it's probably saving you guys a lot of heartache and grief, even if he did play. So,
yeah,
you know, especially when the Eagles, when they face teams where they have one player to shut down, they do that pretty successfully. They did that versus Washington. They double covered Terry, sometimes triple covered him, always had a safety high. But, you know, versus guys like the Rams with Puka and Cooper Kupp, you can't do that. It's only George Pickens out there, so it might be a blessing in disguise. Is there any other real big news that we have for you? I think that's pretty much it for now. Will Disley's going to miss some time, but you know, that's good for Ladd, I guess. That's good for Palmer. That's good for Johnston.
Yeah, it's good for everyone. That's not Will Disley.
Yeah. Tyler Higbee is a full participant, so I don't think that's going to impact target share, but it is interesting. Seahawks are doing additional testing on Kenneth Walker's injured calf, so there's a chance he doesn't play again this week.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so that's it's not fun to have that in the playoffs. And I kind of feel vindicated because when they drafted Zach Charbonnet, my whole thing was, I don't know that Charbonnet is worse than Kenneth Walker. Like, he might be just as good. Like, he deserves a run, and he's been completely irrelevant until recently. It's good to see him get an opportunity. Romeo Doubs is still in concussion protocol. Can someone check in on Romeo Doubs? This man has been in concussion protocol for 3 years now. Aiden O'Connell not ruled out for Monday, so that would be interesting to follow along with. Jonathan Brooks is the saddest story in the NFL, really. But yeah, all right, that's pretty much all the news. Again, do us a favor, hit that like button and show some love. We got a like goal today of 50 likes. With your help, I think we can get there. We will be going through the website questions first. Then we'll come back over to YouTube. If you want to prioritize your question, you can do it with the pinned comment link. I'll also put a link in the chat for you now. But let's start off with Crush. Go ahead.
Yeah, appreciate you, Crush. Thank you so much for supporting here. And I definitely just had it up, and now it's no longer there. Oh, the website crashed for me. Sorry, I have to refresh it. So give me a second. If
That's
it's
all right.
up for you,
I'll start for him then. So it's a 2-quarterback dynasty 12-team start 7 for Crush here. He's starting right now Brock Purdy and Justin Herbert. And you're not going to change those guys out for anyone else. I'm not going to start. Oh, I would start James Conner over Jonathan Taylor, I think. Let me double check my rankings actually before I say that.
Yeah, James Conner is playing against the Broncos. I think this might be a tough game. Obviously, when the I would do that. That's where
James
I have
Conner's
James Conner
against the Patriots, actually.
Yeah, well, Jonathan Taylor, against the Broncos this week. So yeah. I would start James Conner over Jonathan Taylor with Josh Jacobs there.
And by the way, Denver's technically not a terrible matchup, but for James Conner to be in a smash matchup against the Patriots, I feel like he's the safer play.
Yeah, I completely agree. Jamar Chase, Mike Evans, Justin Jefferson, and then George Kittle, of course, at the flex option. You do have a couple options here. And this is a dynasty league. So I personally think there are a couple different ways that you could go here. The first 3 names that come to mind are Jonathan Taylor, is Adam Thielen, I think has a favorable matchup this week. And then I would still go Jaden Reed here or Devonta Smith. Those are technically, that's the other name you could potentially add into that list is Devonta Smith. But yeah.
So Devonta Smith is he's my wide receiver 32 this week. You know, I originally had him over Jaden Reed, but just thinking through game script, if George Pickens doesn't play, I'm not sure how much they're going to have to throw to Devonta Smith. It's very close. To be honest, like, you know, if you're angry at Jaden Reed, I get it. But Aki, you have every right to be angry at him. But even you're saying start Jaden Reed, and that's just because we don't play fantasy that way. We don't play fantasy by just reacting to 1 week. Devonta Smith has been far worse than Jaden Reed this entire year. It's not even close. I mean, he's been massively inconsistent. They're not throwing the ball much in Philadelphia. Maybe that changes with the receivers complaining, but maybe that's A.J. Brown who benefits. So I'm going to agree with you there. I am going to start Devonta Smith or Jaden Reed over Devonta Smith. It's close between those last two. I think you can go either way.
I agree.
But I'm going to agree with Badaki there. And Adam Thielen is one of my favorite starts this week, so I'm on board with you there against the Cowboys.
Mellow BR is next. Appreciate you, man. It's 1 quarterback, 12 team start 7. Lamar Jackson, Saquon Barkley, and you have DeAndre Swift, Braylon Allen, Tajay Spears. It is interesting because if Breece Hall doesn't play, they are playing the Jags. So I actually would be leaning Braylon Allen over DeAndre Swift because DeAndre Swift is playing the Vikings this week. So let's just say Breece Hall doesn't play this week. Let's go Braylon Allen.
I agree. If Breece is out, I'm 100% on board with Braylon against the Jags. Swift's matchup is terrible.
Yeah, I completely agree. So you have Jamar Chase as well. And then you have Cedric Tillman, Josh Downs, Amari Cooper, Tank Dell. For me, this one would be Josh Downs if he plays.
Okay.
I know it's a tough matchup, or quote unquote, with the secondary there. Anthony Richardson. Cedric Tillman, is he playing? Does he not play? Has he been practicing? He's been in concussion protocol forever, just like Romeo Doubs. So that's where I would personally be leaning.
So I definitely can see that being the right choice. With the current information I have right now, I would lean Amari Cooper, just slightly, and there's a couple reasons for that. Number one, last week we kind of saw what we've been waiting to see for a long time for Amari Cooper. Real involvement. Now, He had 14 targets. That's completely unrealistic to expect moving forward. That won't happen. He won't have 14 targets. But the reason I'm in on Amari Cooper is Keon's not fully healthy. Maybe he plays, maybe he doesn't. We saw signs of life, and most importantly, this is the highest over/under the entire year. Like Lions, Bills this week, I haven't seen an over/under this high this entire season. 53.5 points. Huge numbers expected. It's a close spread as well, which indicates that, even Vegas believes it'll be a tight game. And, it's not like the Bills go up and they're comfortable, or the Lions go up and they're comfortable. Both of these teams, like they're thinking about how good these offenses are that they're facing. So, again, I definitely think Downs could be the answer, but just, reliant on him, with Anthony Richardson, I'm going to go Amari Cooper myself, even though it's very close. But in the flex spot, would you start Amari Cooper over DeAndre Swift, or would you just put Swift in here and hope for the best? Because I think I'm still going to lean Swift over like a Downs option here. I just don't know where you lean. Like if you would lean Swift over Amari Cooper, then the only difference is Amari Cooper and Downs for us, if that's the case.
Yeah, I think for me, it just depends on the status of Dalton Kincaid and Keon Coleman. If both of those guys do play, I think it was just a perfect, like the stars aligned for Amari Cooper last week with those 14 targets. They were
make that case.
They were playing from behind essentially the whole time. It was going blow for blow. They didn't run the ball. I think they ran the ball literally less than double digits that whole game. So I think this might, and the Lions have a good matchup or a good defense in the run, right? So I personally would be going Swift over Amari Cooper if Keon Coleman and Dalton Kincaid are out again. But if not, I would go Amari Cooper over DeAndre Swift, and I will be starting Josh Downs over Swifty regardless.
Yeah.
Because once again, I think, Bo Nix scores the ball. It gets an argument for Josh Downs. Obviously, he's been injured, but when he's on the field with Anthony Richardson, he's just that safety blanket for him in the middle of the field. And we saw that last week with Jerry Jeudy being moved around. Now Winston just chucks the ball up and he does whatever he wants. So you may not have the crazy numbers that Jerry Jeudy got, but at least you can get 10 to 14 fantasy points coming in. And especially if you need a safe win, maybe that's the play. But I don't know.
So in short, we're both starting DeAndre Swift, but I'm starting Amari Cooper, Badaki starting Josh Downs, and we gave our rationale as to why. Now, in the scenario in which Breece Hall plays, you start DeAndre Swift anyway, and then we both probably say, well, you start, for me, for example, Josh Downs. For Badaki, you start Amari Cooper, I assume.
Yeah.
So that's how it will play out.
Yeah, appreciate you there, Mello. He has another question here as well. Another team considering CJ Stroud and then Matthew Stafford at the quarterback position. Stroud against the Dolphins, Matthew Stafford against the 49ers.
I don't know how
I feel about this.
Man.
Yeah.
I just don't know how you start Stroud anymore at this point. Like, if you look since week 7, you've had one game you've been mildly happy with. Since week 7. With Stafford having both Puka and Cooper Kupp, I mean, since week 11, in a 4-game stretch, he's averaging well over 20 points per game in 6-point passing touchdown formats. I think it has to be Stafford at this point. I just don't know how. Like, look, anything can happen. We know how good CJ Stroud is. Of course, he can go out there and, he can throw for, any number of yardage and touchdowns, but we haven't seen it. And your entire life is on the line here.
No, we haven't. I think you go Matthew Stafford. This is a divisional game. I think the 49ers, not that I think, I know the 49ers still have an opportunity to get to 500 and make the playoffs. So this is going to be a huge game for the 49ers and the Rams. The Rams, am I tripping? They started like 2-5.
Rams have a better record than the Niners.
Yeah, but they started like 2-5. They won like 4 or 5 straight or something like that.
No, that was last year, I think. But let me double
check.
Last year? You're right. They started 2-5.
It was this year. 100%. Because remember they were talking about like
they started
trading Cooper Kupp and Matthew Stafford. Anyways, Chase Brown, Saquon Barkley, Marlon Harrison Jr. with Jameson Williams there, and in the third wide receiver spot, oh boy, Douglas, Romeo, Tank, Cedric.
Yeah, I mean, there's no confidence in any of these names.
There's no confidence in it. I think I personally would go Cedric, and I don't want to start any of these guys to be completely honest with you, just because I believe Jameis is just going to chuck the ball if Cedric's on the field.
All of these players have a ridiculously low floor. So if you're gonna play it safe, I think Pop is your safety. If you're gonna go upside, I think Tillman's your upside. So I'm gonna kind of agree with you there in a roundabout way.
Yeah.
And if Tillman doesn't play, I'd probably throw a Dunze in there to just say YOLO.
Yeah.
Dunze has the best matchup.
Appreciate you.
Love Rico in the flex though this week.
Yeah, exactly. Trump Force 47. Appreciate you. He says wide receivers stunk me week 14. Done with AJ Brown and T. Wants to start Jerry week 15. Thoughts better matchups. I mean, hey, I'm there with you. I have AJ Brown. If you watch the film back, I said it on the Flock video, he could have scored 2 to 4 touchdowns. Genuinely, like
it's not his fault.
There were so many opportunity that and he's wide open. Are those rumors true about how they're not friends or how there's a little bit of beef in the locker room? Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. Who fucking knows?
Yeah. Who knows?
I can't sit these guys.
Yeah, I don't know if I can sit them either.
There's not a fiber in me that can do that, but you're gonna have to trust your gut here, man.
I would just say, who would you start ladder Jerry if he had a flex? Let's say he had like a Brian Robinson in the flex.
Start Ladd if he's healthy, because Tampa Bay is like the second best matchup for wide receivers, and they clearly missed him last week. But
yeah,
I mean, if Tillman is back, I still think Judy's number one, but we know there's a chance that Tillman's the number one based off of what he did when he was playing. So that's enough. I just can't say AJ Brown and T Higgins. I think those are true superstars. The funny thing with T Higgins, and I knew people were going to do this. No, not you, Trump Force. Just everybody does this though. Like, guys, look at every game T Higgins has played since week 5, and tell me you weren't extremely thrilled with it. This is like his worst game since week 5. He's been so good. He just hasn't been healthy. I think like there's this mindset that like because he hasn't been healthy when he's playing, when he's playing, it's been unreal. And they're facing Tennessee, who won't have L'Jarius Sneed. I don't know. Like I'm not going to sit T Higgins. I still view him as a top 12 receiver this week.
Yeah, I agree. And in the flex option, if you had to choose one of Ladd or Jerry, I would go Jerry. Especially if Tillman doesn't play, I get Ladd McConkey. I think he faces the Bucks, which is also good.
If Tillman doesn't play, I think you can make that case. If Tillman plays, I think I'm going to go Ladd because I just know the roles are defined.
Yeah, and that's fair. Hopefully that helps, Trump Force. That is a very tough question. I understand you're frustrated, but you got to start your stars, and AJ Brown and T Higgins are your stars, and you got to continue. I mean, I'm doing it. I did it last week. Anyways,
well, that's not a great example.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not a great example, but like, I personally didn't have anyone else, but I know you have other options. Next one here is Dylan. I think that's how you say it. Delonzo. Okay, maybe the H is throwing me off. Anyways, one quarterback, 12 teams, start 8. You're gonna start Lamar Jackson at the running back position. You have Brees, Chuba. You're going to start Chuba Hubbard this week, and you are going to start. I would go either Brees Hall or Braylon Allen over Aaron Jones. Would you do that this week?
No, I would start Aaron Jones. Love the matchup versus the Bears. He owns the Bears historically. Was my start of the week last time he played the Bears, and he balled out.
Okay, that's fair. I like the matchup for the Jets as well. They play the Jags. It's one of the best matchups there.
I'm not sure, like, if Isaac Carindo plays, I'm not playing Isaac Carindo over
those guys.
Sure. Like, he might be the number one option if he plays.
Okay, so then...
I agree, though. You can't sit Chuba. He had 30 touches last week.
Yeah.
It's out of the question, sitting Chuba.
I agree. Maybe we'll put him in the flex. We'll wait and see. At the wide receiver position, I see... Drake London. I see Mike Evans.
I see France.
I see Jordan Addison. Those are the 3 I would be starting. London,
Agreed.
Evans, Addison. At the tight end position, you have Tucker Kraft or Mark Andrews. I'm going to go Tucker because I feel like he's going to be needed in this game.
Okay.
That's the only reason. Mark Andrews playing the Giants, no need for Mark Andrews. If you get what I'm saying, like think of the
Yeah,
game
yeah,
script,
that's fair.
running the ball. Maybe Mark Andrews just does get a touchdown, but does he get a touchdown with only 3 targets? That's how I'm thinking. But yes, I would always start Mark Andrews over Tucker Kraft, thinking of narrative.
It's tough because Mark has been a great play in 6 out of the last
He
8
has,
weeks.
he has.
And that makes it really difficult for me not to start Mark. And look, I love that you're going Tucker because I have him in the flock league. I just think there's enough equity of trust, if that even makes sense, built with Mark at this point. 6 out of the last 8 weeks, you've been happy with him. So maybe they don't need him in the second half, but maybe they score 30 points in the first half like the Bucks did.
Yeah, that can definitely be a play. I'm happy either way. I'm just giving you my narratives so you guys can understand.
No, I can definitely see it go either way for sure.
And then at the running back, at the flex position, I think we can go back to the running backs, whether it's Brees, Herendo, or Allen.
Yeah. I would say this. Oh my God, how does Brees Hall? How does he not smash against the Jags?
That's what I'm saying. I think how does Brees or Braylon not do that against the Jags? I think that's why I want a part of that matchup.
I'm gonna say this. Isaac, if Isaac's healthy, I'm starting him over any of these names. Okay? Because the reality is we don't know if Brees Hall plays. Isaac plays Thursday Night Football. So if he plays, in fact, yeah, I have to do this. I have to put him... I actually have to make this swap here because of the timeline. Isaac has to start because he plays Thursday Night Football. Got to put him in that running back spot, not the flex. And if he's healthy, they showed us last week, he will be their guy. I have enough trust in him. I have enough trust in this offense. Now, if Isaac misses time, it'll make it easier on you because you can put Aaron Jones in there and then you can play Brees Hall against the Jags, or if Brees Hall doesn't go, you can play Braylon. It makes it very, very simple if Isaac doesn't play.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm happy to rock with that.
If Brees plays, he and Aaron Jones would be so close in my rankings, I would have no idea what the answer would be. Truly. I truly would not know what the answer would be. Do you have any insight or thoughts on that you might be able to sway this conversation in a certain direction or not?
I'm thinking I think I just at the end of the day I just want the matchup.
Yeah, well, Aaron has a good matchup versus the Bears. They're huge favorites.
I guess
Aaron's dominated the Bears historically.
In this scenario, like I would agree with you. You start Aaron Jones and then Chuba at the top, and then at the flex, I'm just gonna go based off best matchup. I think Isaac Herendo in this short turnaround window, I'm not necessarily sure he's going to play. At least that's my expectations. And if he is going to play, he might not get 100% of the workload. So I'm just trying to pull every single piece of...
I think we had that kind of narrative earlier in the season with Jordan Mason, and every time he played with a lingering injury, he was the workhorse. Now, there were some games where he left still. I just think that's the nature of the Niners backfield, but...
I think I guess to sum it up, I don't think there's a wrong answer here in my opinion, because if Brees Hall doesn't play, you know it's going to be Braylon. If Isaac Herendo plays, then sure, you can play Isaac Herendo. Then you should just hope and expect that he gets that workload and those opportunities, because what we saw last week. So I don't think there's a wrong answer here. I think you're still going to have a safe floor, just depending on who. It just really depends on who's going to give you the most in that floor. So.
Yeah, at this point, I guess I'm sitting Brees if Isaac plays. That's how I would run it, but that's an impossible one to answer. It really is.
Yeah.
Mr. Blanco is next.
Blanco. Appreciate you. He says bench Baker. You said your bench is Baker, Tony Pollard, Tracy, and then Calvin. Okay, so you don't have anyone else. So I would definitely start Baker Mayfield over Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you there. Yeah, they're constantly fighting for their life, and the argument against Baker is that the Chargers give up the fewest points to opposing offenses, so that is tough. But this is one of the better offenses in the NFL right now, and I just think Baker is, he's kind of on the best form of his entire life. I'm going to play him over Stafford myself as well.
And I don't know if I would actually start anyone else over another. I think there could be an argument with James Cook based off what he did last week for you, and how this could technically be the same narrative that we saw with the Rams against the Lions.
Yeah, could be. I think Tracy is safer because he plays regardless if they're up or down. James Cook, they showed us if they're down big, they would opt to play Ty Johnson, which doesn't make sense because James Cook is a great pass catcher, but that's the reality. I mean, last week Tyrone Tracy had 10 targets, for example. So I would put Tracy over James Cook myself if that was an option.
Yeah, I can understand it. I'm still gonna go James, but I can understand the narrative. Like, it's just crazy. It's crazy to see what happened last time.
It is crazy.
Thank you, Mr. Blanco. Joseph. He says, first time using this tool, this league is not super flex. Okay, so 1 quarterback, 12 team start 8. At the quarterback position, Patrick Mahomes or Justin Herbert. I'm going to go Herbert here.
Yeah, I agree with you. Versus Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
No J.K. Dobbins. They should throw the ball a lot.
Yeah, okay. We agree there. Then we have Monty or Chuba. I'm still going to go Monty, but I think maybe we'll start Chuba somewhere else. I see AJ Brown here, Drake London.
Wow.
So let's go AJ Brown with Puka at the tight end position. I am David Njoku, Travis Kelce.
I'll put Njoku in there. My tight end start of the week.
Yeah, I get that. I'll go Njoku with you. And then at the 2 flex spots, I feel like one definitely has to be, oh my gosh, T, Drake, Garrett Wilson, Chuba. Dude.
Yeah, I know, this is crazy. I don't think you can sit, holy shit. Wow. How is this a 12-team league? I mean, you've just completely destroyed every other team with trades or something. But
I think here you have to go with, depending on what you need. If you go with high upside, I feel like it has to be T Higgins and either Drake London or Chuba. So high upside, I'm gonna go T Higgins and London. Safe floor, I'm just going to throw in Chuba. And swap that out for the likes of Drake London.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so that really cool thing happened where my computer disconnects all audio, so no, maybe 60 seconds. At least I assume they didn't. That's what normally happens. Can you talk for us now?
Yeah, hello.
Okay, I think they should be able to hear you now. But sorry, go ahead. Go ahead, take the floor. Sorry about that, guys.
Basically, I was saying, like you have 3 players that are safe floors, which is T, Drake, at least in my opinion, and Chuba Hubbard. So you pick your poison there.
I honestly I can't believe we're supposed to start 2 of these 4 players. Let me think about matchups for a second. T versus the Titans. London versus the Raiders. The Raiders actually don't give up a ton of points to receivers because you typically beat them on the ground. I've noticed that trend. Garrett versus the Jags.
The Jags. Yeah.
I don't trust Garrett enough, oddly enough, of these names.
Yeah. So I'm if he's somebody, he's the person that I'm not starting out of these names.
I'm between London, Higgins, and Chuba, like you, I think.
Yeah.
I feel as if Chuba is your safest floor, but the highest bust potential of any of these names. I know that sounds crazy, but the highest. I said that opposite. Safest floor, least bust opportunity, if that makes sense. Now, outside of that, I think London and T Higgins, both great options. I'll probably lean London just because there's been more safety for the entirety of the season. You know, again, you get to this point and you ask yourself, well, who got you there? Well, Chuba got you there, right? Drake London got you there. These are the guys that got you there already. Garrett Wilson, you know, he's played well. T. Higgins has been up and down. Or he's been consistent. He's just been injured. This is what I'm rolling with. I'm trying to find a reason. There's literally, like, these are all must starts. I'm trying to find a reason to make it. That's my reason. All right, London and Hubbard. That's what I'm going with.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
That's tough. We have a team review from Annie, but this is we'll hold this for the Monday stream on the Dynasty channel, which those streams have been so fun, by the way, guys. If you're not with us on our Dynasty channel just yet, hey, you know, the season's going to end here soon. All right, and we will stop posting content on this channel, but that doesn't mean we have stopped posting content in general. We will start posting content over on our Dynasty channel. I'll spam that link in the chat. Go subscribe to our Dynasty channel. We will be live about 5 times a week from January onwards on this channel. We'll be talking NFL draft. We'll be talking Dynasty startups and trade targets and rankings. If you're interested in the 2025 class, I have my rookie wide receiver rankings and rookie running back rankings already up on the channel. Posted that yesterday. So yeah, we'll save that stream for Monday when we're live on the Dynasty channel.
You. Thank you, Lil Annie, and we can't wait to review that one. Little Florida would love.
Come on.
Last flex, Cooper, Waddle, Addison, any must start. So you're starting Jalen Hurts, Tony Pollard, Bijan, Money Mooney, Jacoby's, Tucker, Addison, Amari Cooper. Cooper, Waddle, Addison.
Oh, I think Waddle is maybe, like, if Keon and Kincaid play, I put Waddle in there over Amari. Yeah. And I'm not sure that if Breece Hall doesn't play, I wouldn't flex Braylon over Addison. The issue is they made it very clear they're going to split that backfield if it's not Breece.
Sure.
Like, he and Isaiah Davis had equal share. So maybe Addison is a little safer. But, yeah, I'd probably play Waddle over
Yeah, I'll rock with you there as well.
Amari. Tight end, though, yeah, I guess that's all you have is crap.
Yeah, that's all you have. Appreciate you. PPAV 26, he says, who to flex? Lots of injury scenarios. Excuse me. Jalen Hurts, Henry, Connor, Puka, T, Travis. Obviously, we will be starting Isaac Horrendo here if he plays.
I absolutely agree.
If he doesn't play,
let's make that change real quick. Sorry, just real quick, so they can see that on their end. So if that happens, you'll have to play him at your RB2 spot. You can't play him in your flex. Just want to say that before we move on. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't play,
there's a couple of names here. I think the first name I will go to is Jaden Reed.
Yeah.
If he doesn't play.
I agree. But I think Pollard is a safer floor.
That's what I'm saying. If you want a safer floor type play, maybe it's Rashad, because if I'm not mistaken, Bucky left the game. I don't know how his status is right now.
Still being monitored.
If hypothetically, Bucky doesn't play and you just want that safe floor, I would then pivot to Rashad White over Tony Pollard if you don't trust Jaden Reed. If that's not too confusing.
Yeah, okay, so let's walk through it because we're on the same page here. Okay, so if Isaac plays, you play Isaac at your RB2 spot and you flex Connor. If Isaac doesn't play,
Correct.
You put Connor in your RB2 spot. And if you want safety, you go with Rashad White, assuming Bucky Irving is not playing. If Bucky Irving is playing, you go Tony Pollard. Now, that's the safety route. If you want the upside route, then you can put Jaden Reed at the flex over Pollard. Now, if Romeo Doubs plays, then you probably want to stick with Tony Pollard. Okay? Wrap that up in a bow, but if you want to watch that back, Peepov, a couple times, that covers all scenarios there. Peepov, appreciate you.
Merry Christmas. Appreciate you, Peepov. Pats for Life is next. Okay, couple quarterbacks here. Jalen Hurts, we will start. Chase Brown downtown. Joe Moneybags Mixon.
Yeah.
Okay, couple wide receivers, some good wide receivers.
Yeah. Can't sit Jennings.
No, you can't sit Jennings. I feel like you can't sit Tyreek this week. I feel like you can't. Then it's Shakira, or Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah, I'll flex Jeudy if there's no Tillman.
Yeah, two narratives that are pretty helpful. I mean, Shakira. obviously having that big game last week, I think that narrative could be very similar. Um, but we're going to go with the consistency of what we've seen for the past couple of weeks, which Shakira has been consistent.
Yeah,
Just Jerry
you
has
know,
been averaging a little bit more.
there's actually interesting like storylines on both sides because for Shakir, like if Keon and Kincaid both are back and healthy, he's still going to be safe, but he might not have that same ceiling. But for Jerry Jeudy, if Tillman's back, you can make a case Tillman might interrupt some of that magic. So I'll say this: like, if Tillman's back and no one else is back for the Bills, you start Shakir, and the opposite I think is true as well. If Tillman's back if Shakir has all his guys back and Tillman is out, you start Jerry. So I think it really comes down to like thinking through target share and opportunities with both of these situations. What I will say is I do love the matchup for Khalil Shakir. Highest over under of the year. And if
Shakira. Come on,
none
baby.
of those guys are healthy on his team, I think Shakir's your option there. But that plays through every scenario there.
Oh, baby, when you talk like that, this Chris. Stop on who I should play at flex, wide receivers and running backs, because I got some strong players. Playoffs. All right, so you're starting Drizzy, Drake, Rogers, which is Drake May. At the running back position, of course, you start Derrick Henry. At the RB2 position, I like Brian Robinson matchup against the Saints this week. I like.
Sorry, can you go to Derrick Henry, Brian Robinson? You said
Derrick Henry, Brian Robinson.
Yeah, okay.
Then we got Mike. Then we got Leak. Then at the flex position, obviously you're starting Mark Andrews. Then is Adam Thielen or Tyrone Tracy. And
wow.
I mean, I feel like you have to go. I feel like you just have to go with Adam Thielen right now.
Well, are we sure? Are we sure we're starting Neighbors over Thielen? The matchup is great, but I just don't know about your quarterback play right now.
Sure, that's fine. I think regardless, Neighbors is going to start in my eyes. On this team is just dependent on Tyrone or Thielen. So like if that's what you're saying, that means you would just start Thielen.
Yeah, well, what I'm saying is the matchup is good technically, but your quarterbacks are both injured. And Neighbors himself is a little bit injured, so I'm not sure how much the matchup is going to matter. I do think Neighbors is a fine play, but I do think Adam Thielen has a higher upside. I mean, if you even look at the last 2 weeks, right, as the sample sizes, then Thielen is the better play. I think it's very close, but I would probably start Adam Thielen, and I think Tyrone has a safer floor than Neighbors.
Yeah, that's fair.
But
that's fair.
If Neighbors even has competent quarterback play, he could have a 30 bomb, but he doesn't. That's what's scary about this. So I think Neighbors is your ceiling, Tyrone's your floor.
Appreciate you, Chris.
Are you starting Drake May though? Like, is there no other options?
Well, he didn't have any other options, so
I'd start Aaron Rodgers at Jacksonville. Stafford, I'd start. Yeah, just a couple names, but May's not a bad play if he's the best option you have.
Yeah, happy emo. Toilet bowl, try not to get the punishment. That's fair. I'm there with you.
I love that.
Kyler Murray, he at the running back position is going to be Zach Charbonnet if Kenneth Walker doesn't play. Is going to be Isaac Correndo if he does play. We'll walk through a scenario where he doesn't.
Holy shit, this is crazy for a start 7, dude.
Yeah.
We are doomed to fail this question. Think about it. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 running backs that most people would say you have to start, and you have 3 options for them, and we might not even start them over a wide receiver yet. This is crazy.
Yeah.
Who's your highest ranked name here?
My highest ranked name would be Zach Charbonnet without Kenneth Walker.
I agree. Okay, we're fine on that.
Mm-hmm.
After that, I think it's Isaac for me if he plays.
After that, you convinced me on Isaac. It was Brees or Braylon, whoever doesn't play or whoever plays with the Jags.
Yeah,
I just like the Jags matchup, but I think I agree with you when you say if Isaac plays, they're just going to continue to run the ball with him.
Seems that way, yeah.
Yeah. At the
wide
wide
receiver.
receiver position, let's go Marvin Harrison Jr.
Oh, okay.
I would then go Malik Nabers.
Okay.
So those are the 2 wide receivers I'll be starting.
I am a little bit different there. I would start. So again, you said Marvin and Malik.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start Devontae Adams over Marvin Harrison. He's just been more consistent.
Wait, DeAndre Hopkins?
Garrett Wilson. Did I say DeAndre Hopkins?
You said Devontae Adams.
Okay, yeah, Garrett Wilson. I'm gonna start Garrett Wilson
Okay.
over Marvin Harrison. He's been more consistent. They're getting reliable target share each and every week. Decent matchup. So I probably would not start Marvin with all the options here. I'm probably going to go running back at the flex here. For example, Breece Hall, I'd play if he plays as the Jags. If Breece Hall doesn't play, I might lean Tyrone just because Braylon splits with Isaiah Davis. So yeah, this is the way I'm playing it. Garrett Wilson, Neighbors at the flex. Breece if he plays. If he doesn't play, Tyrone. For Badaki, he's going Marvin, Neighbors, and then what are you doing at the flex?
Garrett Wilson.
Garrett Wilson. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that makes sense. Appreciate you, Happy Emo. Jovian DC Bond says need help with the flex. So we're starting Nix, Kamara, Tracy Adams, Jennings, Hawkinson, and at the flex we have Zach Charbonnet, T Higgins, Adam Thielen, Jacoby Myers, Malik
Why are all the
Neighbors.
tough ones coming out today?
This is this
Like,
today
this is playoff
is
weeks
crazy.
now. Like, I feel like we didn't have half of these teams on a week-to-week basis. You probably have like 1 or 2 sprinkled in, but it's like every single question, every single team is a stacked team right now.
Yeah, it's tough. And we've had Jovian on the stream a lot. Appreciate you, man. This is another one of those almost impossible questions to answer. I don't see how you sit T Higgins, but if Zach Charbonnet is the starter, I don't see how you sit him. He hasn't busted one time this year as a starter. He's averaging, even before this week, about 20 points per game as a starter. I mean, to be honest, if Charbonnet plays, I'm playing him over even Tyrone Tracy. And then I'd probably play Higgins in the flex. So that's how I would actually, if Charbonnet is a starter.
Let's do that. I'm happy with that.
I'm putting Sharps as RB2 and I'm putting Higgins in the flex. But if Ken Walker starts, you can go ahead and put Tyrone back into your RB2 spot and I would flex Higgins.
Yeah, I agree. I'm happy to rock with you there.
That's tough.
It is
Happy
tough.
Emo here. Me again. Best team I have to win the champ. Thanks. Hey, congratulations, Emo, for getting to the playoffs. You can't sit Lamar Jackson.
No.
You just can't sit what I think should be the MVP, but we'll see what happens. After that, you have these teams are crazy today. Okay.
It's just crazy.
You cannot sit Jahmyr Gibbs in that high over under. You cannot sit Chase Brown under any scenario. Wide receivers, my God. Oh my God. Well, Jason was great last week, but he had 5 targets, so we have to keep that in mind. I still think T and Terry are more reliable right now. I love JSN, but I still think T and Terry are more reliable. At your flex spot, if Bucky plays, oh my God, just realized Isaac is there. Oh my God. Okay, switch it up. Isaac's going in the RB2 spot. Chase Brown's going in the flex for Thursday Night Football purposes. And then with your final flex position, if Bucky plays, it's Bucky. If Bucky doesn't play, it's JSN for me.
Okay. I would start Jason regardless. So I think, yeah, that's the only difference. Everything's the same. You put Isaac Rendo in the RB2 position, Chase Brown. You start T. You start Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
All right. Lots of tough questions right here, right now.
Yeah.
Worried emo here again. This is a 12-team start date. Says worried some collusion happened, but hopeful. Oh, I'm sorry if that's the real case. Yeah, I feel like collusion is more common in like these leagues where people don't actually know the people they're playing with, but hopefully that's not the case for you there. But Happy Emo says worry. Okay, yeah. So at quarterback, I think Herbert will be my pick here.
Yeah, I'm there with you.
I need to double check that real quick. I mean, how do you sit golf though in that over under? I think I'm gonna go golf. My bad. I'm sorry. I mean, look at what Matthew Stafford just did. It's the highest over under the year. Herbert hasn't really been lighting the world on fire, if we're honest. He's been a fine option, but
I think he has a perfect matchup though this week.
He does. He does have a perfect matchup. Yeah.
I think that's where I want to go. I love Jared Goff's matchup this week. I'm just gonna go Justin Herbert, especially if he gets Ladd McConkey back.
By the way, it's at Detroit, so it will be in a dome. I'll rock Goff, but I think Herbert is a great option too. But just that over under, I want to be in that game if I can.
No, I can understand. At the running back position there. At the running back position, Isaiah Pacheco and Kenneth Walker, if he plays. If he doesn't play, there's two ifs here. Actually, let's run it back. If Bucky plays, you start Bucky. If Kenneth Walker plays,
to make things very clear, why don't we just run it one time as if everyone's healthy? Who's your option here?
Sure.
If everyone's healthy.
Bucky and Kenneth Walker then.
Okay, I agree.
Okay, at the wide receiver position, you're gonna start T. Higgins. You're gonna start Tyreek Hill. We might start one of those guys. You're gonna start Evan.
I wouldn't sit Sutton.
Hold on.
I'm sorry. I just need to say that real quick. I wouldn't sit Sutton. So
Yeah, well, I think.
Holy hell.
He could be in the flex. That's why I'm just going with the first two there.
Okay.
At the tight end position, I think I would actually go Hunter Henry.
Yep, I'm with you.
I'm going to go Hunter Henry. And then I'm going to play either Cortland, Ladd, or Juwan. I would be going... I'm going to go Cortland Sutton against the Colts.
These questions are crazy.
And then I would go... Sutton. I think if Ladd plays, I'm going to play Ladd McConkey with the stack of Justin Herbert, in my eyes.
Yeah, okay. So, only difference is I would play Jared Goff, okay, here. But I'm going to agree with you on every other note. It's really tough to sit Jauan Jennings there, by the way.
It is very tough.
I'm not sure... The matchup is just so good for Ladd, but I'm not sure I can sit Jennings, actually. I would probably start Jauan over Ladd. That might be my only change with this, how good he's been.
That's fair. That's
Look,
fair.
If injuries were to occur, let's say Walker's out. All right, well, you put Tyrone in over Walker. Okay.
Yep.
If Bucky and Ken Walker are out, well, you'll have to start Isaiah Pacheco. I don't like that at all, but that's what you'd have to do.
Yeah, I'm there with you.
Let's hope both of these names are healthy and ready to rock, but those are your alternates. Good Lord. Elmo, or Emo, not Elmo, sorry. I appreciate you being here. So much love and support. But man, those are your 3 questions. Were the most difficult questions this week by far. I appreciate you though. Wilson Robert says, "Didn't think I'd be in the playoffs. I'm 5-9." Wait, how are you in the playoffs at 5-9? That's there's got to be a story behind that. Well, you're starting Baker Mayfield. You're starting, I'd say Aaron Jones, but I do love B-Rob this week as well. Start Aaron. Maybe we'll look at the flex before we say anything else. Yeah, this is Jauan for me. Hunter Henry. And then at the flex spot, wow, okay. This week is crazy, dude. Oh my goodness. I think Brian is the safest floor.
Yeah.
Ladd is the highest upside. Brian is the safest floor. My goodness. Good luck. My goodness, you guys. These questions. L-Jet here. Start sit. Bo Nix or Kyler Murray? Let's start there. Kyler's got a great matchup versus the Patriots, but I'm going to go Bo Nix here versus the Colts myself.
Yep, I'm there with you.
Okay, Chuba, Charbonnet, if he plays, would be our pick there. Nico, London, McBride, Higgins, and then at the flex spot, for me, this is Bucky if he plays. If not, Juwan Jennings.
Yep, I'm there with you.
Okay, cool.
On the same page.
As hard, that's good. Johnny Tsunami from 2-5 to 8-6. Let's go. Pick up Davis? Question mark. So they have Hurts here, RB2. I'd probably start Swift. Hate the matchup, but I trust him a little more over the other options.
Agreed.
Puka, I'd start Juwan Jennings at wide receiver 2. And then at your flex spot, I guess you put, well, Braylon if he starts, right?
If Breece Hall doesn't start, you go Braylon. If not, I would go Isaiah Pacheco.
Yeah, okay, we're on the same page there as well. Let's go. On a roll. Dubs20 with a question here. So Sam Darnold's interesting. Terrible matchup versus the Chicago Bears. Do you trust him? I just think there's a wide range of outcomes for both of these names, but Darnold has had way more blow-up games. He has way better weapons with Jefferson and Addison and Hawkinson. Well, I'm still going to start him, I think.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. The last time he played the Bears, he did pretty decent. Didn't he throw like 3 touchdowns or something like that? Or maybe I'm tripping about that.
I don't know. Let me
that was like the first. That was the big. Maybe it was 2 touchdowns. It was a Jordan Addison game where he went crazy. I lost to Joe that week. I remember.
Yeah, he had 2 touchdowns, 25 points.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Sam Darnold there.
Yeah.
You got Rico, Chase, Adam, Chase, Andrews, and then at the flex, I would go Kobe Meyer. Oh no, I would go Shakira actually.
Yeah.
If Keon Coleman and Dalton doesn't play, or Keon Coleman period doesn't play.
I'm gonna agree with you there. I do really like Jacoby this week, but we have to think of the scenario where he potentially doesn't have.
It's Desmond Ritter.
Aiden O'Connell.
He doesn't have Aiden O'Connell and it's Desmond Ritter, which is not what you want.
I still think his floor would be safe, but again, you're missing out on the highest over under if you don't go Shakir. So, yeah, that's the way we're playing it. All right, we have a question here from a username. There's no username to this person, so here we go. In 2 weeks, playoffs, down 20 points, half PPR. I think I have enough upside. Need a floor at the flex. So we've got Hurts in there, Gibbs, Kamara, Collins, Jefferson, and at the flex spot, he said he needs a floor at the flex. Well, look, I get the AJ Brown benching for Rico. Rico has a great matchup versus the Panthers. The Panthers have played better. Rico's going to be a star of the week for me, but there's just no scenario I can say AJ Brown. I'm sorry, I just can't do it. We have a saying here, and we say it to ourselves, which is keep it simple, stupid. KISS. Start your stars. And AJ Brown's a certified superstar. He just complained. I think he's going to get a little more loving this week. I just can't say AJ Brown. I can't. It might be the wrong move, but I cannot, with a good conscience, tell someone to sit AJ Brown for Rico Dowdle.
I completely agree. We appreciate you. I see a guy in the chat, XPC. Really quick, he said, "Could you not bench Joe Burrow to let your boy in?" Look, I understand. That's not how it works. You have to field your best team no matter what. That's how all of our leagues are. That's how the Flock League is. So if Zach sits Joe Burrow, then that's essentially collusion in itself. So people then
100% collusion.
People get upset. Yeah, people get upset about it. So as much as I would have liked him to do it, he still has to field his best team.
Or even a team.
Yeah, or even a team. But even then, if Zach wanted to help me out and then go pick up somebody else off the waiver, pick up freaking Drew Lock off the waiver wire,
I would have had to drop a name that
pretty
is
significant player. Yeah, exactly.
On my bench, short benches, I have Henry, I have Mixon, I have Terry, I have Jonathan Taylor, and I can't drop these important names to go out there and pick up, Drew Lock. So, yeah, like First off, that's the definition of collusion. So I have no doubt that the integrity of the league would be in question and that people would be extremely upset at me for right reason.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. If I bench a player just to get Badaki into the playoffs, like, flip that situation on its head for anybody else in the Flock League. How are they not extremely upset? How are they not, like, questioning the integrity of this league long term?
Yeah.
So he says, like, I'm
Anyway.
confused because you would have had the 1 seed no matter what, so didn't matter. There's got to be a story there. Were you considering it? The story is I've just never done that in my life. I believe in, like, the integrity of a league over. I wanted Badaki in, but I
mean,
can't.
my team just shit the bed, so I can't really complain about that. Like, I understand if, anyways.
Yeah, hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah, hopefully that makes sense. Back to the super chats here on the website. We appreciate you. I think it's Wes that's next.
Yeah, yep.
He said week after week advice. Let me know, boys. Have PPR. Okay. Quarterback Josh Allen. At the running back position, he's starting Devon, and we will start Chuba Hubbard here. At the wide receiver, you have Tyreek Hill, Malik Neighbors, and then you are considering Jacoby Myers, Keenan Allen, Calvin Ridley.
Chris Olave. Look, I don't know. How is there no more? There should be an update on Chris Olave. There should be an update. Like, he's had 4 weeks off on the IR.
I think even if Chris Olave plays, I'm not sure if I want to
No,
play
I agree.
him
No,
because of
you're
Derek
not
Carr.
playing him.
And like,
I'm
if
just saying
maybe
there should be
Derek Carr was
there should be an update by now. But I agree. No, you're
Sure.
not playing him.
Sure. Keenan Allen, Jacoby Myers. I guess I don't want to start Jacoby Myers if it's not Aiden O'Connell. Calvin Ridley, Keenan Allen. I'm gonna go Calvin.
Yeah, I agree. Versus the Bengals.
They're gonna be down.
Should be a good play.
Yeah, and then at the flex position, I would be then going most likely Rico Dowdle.
Well,
Playing against the Panthers.
Well, for me, it'd be Isaac if he plays. So
Sure.
what I would do actually is I'd play Isaac at RB2 because he plays Thursday Night Football, and then I would flex Chuba. But in the scenario in which Isaac does not play, then I'm probably gonna flex. Hold on, let me figure this out. I'm probably gonna flex. So again, if Horrendo doesn't play, I think you flex Rico.
Yeah.
Versus the Panthers.
I definitely want to put Rico in my lineup, but yeah, I mean, hell, you can't even. They held Saquon Barkley to less than 15 points.
Yeah.
Like, anyway.
And it's good to see, but
yeah. 15 points for Saquon against the Panthers is like you were expecting a 30 bomb. You were hoping for that. Anyways.
No, I agree.
Wes, thank you so much. Louis. The Louis Carter, the Carter Louis. Wow, that's a throwback. That came right to my head. Lamar Jackson, Josh Jacobs. You're going to start here Isaac Horrendo if he does play. We'll go through a scenario if he doesn't. You're starting Justin Jefferson already, I see. And then we would go here Jawan Jennings. At the flex position, I would go Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, I agree with that, actually. Yeah.
If Isaac Horrendo doesn't play,
I might start Tyrone, I think.
I will go Tyrone as well. I just hesitated just thinking about Jonathan Taylor.
They're back-to-back in my rankings, but I lean Tyrone because he just had 10 targets. That is unheard of for Jonathan Taylor with Anthony Richardson. So, yeah.
Completely agree.
Big J Rock.
Big J Rock, which is the last one here on the website that I can see. Appreciate you. At the quarterback position, you're starting Jared Goff and Bo Nix. This is 2 quarterback league. James Conner, Chase Brown downtown, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jackson Smith and Digba, David Njoku, and we are going to be starting.
Did you say Ndikba?
Njigba.
Like, damn, I mean, you could definitely come up with a funny nickname there.
And then Mike Evans.
Yeah, Mike Evans. Yeah, agreed. You can't sit Mikey.
Nah, yeah, you can't see Mikey Mike
They need some more competitive games, man. For
and
Mike,
Digba.
it's pissing me off that they're not in more competitive games. Okay, those are all the questions on the website. Let's come over to YouTube. Again, guys, if you're watching this and you do want to prioritize your question, the website questions are still open. Just because we're not over there doesn't mean we're not answering them. We'll get a notification if you submit one through. And by the way, when you're over there on the Flock site, if you don't have an account yet, you can get a free account using our promo code LAND, LAND. You get like the My Team feature available to you and a couple other things. So yeah. Anyway, we have no super chats on YouTube, and that is totally fine. What we'll do is we will answer, let's do 10 questions at random. If there are no more questions to the website or anything, let's do, let's just do 10 questions at random to end. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go for it.
Starting off with Anderson, who says start Kamara or Horrendo if he plays this week. You can't sit Alvin Kamara. Same thing we talked about with people wanting to say AJ Brown. We're not willing to do it. Start your stars, Alvin Kamara, so running back 3 on the season.
Completely agree.
That's question 1. Question 2 is, again, we're going at random here. Let's do Enzyme, who says, do I start Tyrone Tracy, Maserati Marv, or Money Mooney at my flex? I think Tracy's your safest floor and Marv is your highest upside.
Yeah, I think it depends on what you need. I personally would go Marvin. Just really depends on what you need, which is tough to say.
By the way, Ty Dalla, I don't know if he's still in the chat, but he said, can we get your rankings? This is not like a question. This won't count towards it, but every once in a while we forget that we don't update you guys on this stuff. But if you want to get rankings, what you can do is go to flockfantasy.com/land. You can sign up for a free account. And when you have the free account, you will have expert consensus rankings. But if you actually wanted my rankings, you'd have to be, on a membership. There's a monthly and a yearly option. If you become a yearly member, you get like a team review for free and our 2025 rookie report and, our draft guide for next year, all those kind of things. But otherwise, you can sign up for a free account and get expert consensus rankings. And that's the consensus of like some of the domain guys and Stock Exchange, Mason and me. And Badaki's doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes. So he's got his time towards, a lot of stuff that you guys don't see, which we're excited to release. And it's already kind of starting to get in motion. All right. Question 3. Is there someone in particular you want to give love here? I can see these names, so just look at the last, let's say, 20 comments.
Yeah, we can do. I haven't seen Ellen ABC.
Yeah, let's hit it. Ridley or Jennings?
This would be Jennings for me.
Yeah, I'm 100% on board with you. That's question 3. Let's go next to let's go B. What's up, B?
What's good, B?
What's good, B?
What's good, B?
Tracy Orendo, Ridley, or Cook for the flex. Oh shit. We have to pick one.
Tracy, Orendo, Ridley, or Cook.
I'll go Orendo if he plays. If he doesn't, probably James Cook if he doesn't.
Yeah, I'm still going James Cook.
Even if Orendo plays?
I think I'm going James Cook even if Orendo plays, yeah.
Okay. Look, I don't think that's crazy. I just have more confidence in Isaac.
And I get it. It's just at least you know what I like to think of? I like to give teams benefits of the doubt. And maybe that's a terrible way to think about fantasy football. But if I am just like AJ Brown, why they're not getting me the ball? I'm James Cook. I'm saying, coach, what happened? 6 carries, coach? Come on, you want to get the run game going? You're going to abandon the run game? You're not going to let me get an opportunity? Surely conversations like that are happening. Or he's probably not going to his head coach. He's maybe going to his running back coach. His running back coach is going to the head coach. Think, hey, these guys not happy. Anyways. Maybe I'm tripping.
You could be onto something. I think that's question 4 out of 10. That to end the stream. We did have a super chat from Antoine, so let's get to this first. It's Happy Emo. He says, first year doing fantasy, but I want to do a dynasty league. How do I do that? I don't got that many friends. Okay, well,
You got us, brother.
first
What you
off,
mean?
that is great because if you guys are out there and you love fantasy football, I'm telling you, as someone who's been playing Dynasty for a long time, when you start to play Dynasty for the first time, you realize, wow, I didn't know I could love the game more like this.
No.
It's for the love of the game. No, but go subscribe to our Dynasty channel first off, guys. If you haven't played Dynasty football and you're interested in it, I'll just spam the link to our Dynasty channel, Dynastyland Football. When the season is over, in fact, we won't be posting in week 17 because it will be with our family. It's Christmas, just so you guys know. Might do one live stream. I'm not sure yet. But pretty much January onwards, we'll be live on this channel 5 times a week. We'll be talking the NFL draft. We'll be talking rookies, trade targets, Dynasty. We'll do Dynasty startups. You know, if you love fantasy and you want to get into Dynasty, definitely go sub over there. That's where all of our time and attention will be from pretty much January to like May. Pretty much half the season, half the year. But the question is, he wants to get into a Dynasty league. He doesn't have many friends. I'm sure you have friends. You said that, not me. But I'm sure you have good friends in your life. Here's what I'll say. Discord. Okay? Get into our Discord. Badaki, can you find that link and paste it in the chat for people?
Yeah.
But in our Discord, you will have... Where is it? Okay, so in our Discord, you have like the flock chats. This is like the main chat where a lot of people talk about. You see it says Dynasty Leagues right here. People are always talking about Dynasty Leagues. They're always inviting people to Dynasty Leagues. I'm not going to say always, but it happens a lot. You can also go to Fantasyland, our tab here, and there's a general tab. You can say, hey, I mean, look at this guy. He says, if anyone's interested in a $150 ring, you know, like this happens a lot. I'd say like 3 or 4 times a week, someone's posting in some chat. If it's not ours, it's the other creators' chats, and they're like, hey, you know, who wants to start a league or be in a league? I don't know. Something like I think Discord's the best place to do it. What I will say is just like be careful because, you know, while most people have good intentions, sometimes they don't. So make sure if you're like paying money, like a $25 buy-in or something, it's through League Safe.
Oh yeah,
League
especially
Safe.
in Dynasty. In Dynasty, because sorry to interrupt.
No,
because
hop in.
what happens is that people get addicted to drafting. So they just want to draft, and then they forget about their team. It's like, you know what? I don't really care about this. They would pay $5 to do a real draft so they can feel something. You know, $5, $10, $20. Like, just be careful.
Get into a free one for fun. You know, get into a free one if you want for fun to start off. But when you want to start taking it serious, hopefully you can find like a community and different people through Discord and stuff where, you know, you can kind of trust them. And ideally, you want to pay multiple years in advance. Ideally, you want to pay, let's say, 2 to 3 years in advance. Why? Because at least there's some money, your cold hard cash is at stake there, and you don't have what Badaki said, where people they are obsessed with drafting in Dynasty, and then they draft a shit team and realize it, and they just fucking give up or they leave. Right? It actually puts like some skin in the game. So anyway, hopefully that's helpful. Appreciate you, and Juan. All right, let's go question 5 out of 10 from Michael Lopez. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Did you ever watch that show?
Yeah, George Lopez, classic.
Yeah, I used to watch that late at night. Evening, guys. What tight end we feeling better about? Jake Ferguson, Juwan Johnson, or Cal Cateras, I think is his name, from the Eagles.
From the Eagles, yeah.
Ferguson, for me.
Yeah, Ferguson. I like Ferguson. Kind of got back into it this on Monday night, which you kind of like to see. Obviously, he was injured for those past couple games. He saw 70% of the snap share. So
6 targets.
6 targets, yeah. So I think that's kind of where you want to lean right now.
Yeah.
At the tight end position.
All right. That's question 5 out of 10. Let's go to Joe Rivers for 6 out of 10. Russ or Stroud? This is where I do lean Stroud. Hate Russ this week. Love the guy. But Mr. Unlimited might be limited. I mean, they've got the Eagles. All right. No George Pickens, most likely. Eagles are the worst matchup for your quarterback, and he has no George Pickens. It's sure he can overcome it, but the peripherals say no.
Yeah, I'm there with you.
All right, Captain Caleb. This is question. What question? 6?
I think so. Yeah.
Hey guys, thanks for making me a contender in my first season of fantasy. Who's the better for week 16 and 17, D-Hop or Thielen? We'll be all based off matchup, but my instinct leans Thielen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Thielen, definitely.
I want Adam Thielen, but I will say I am a little bit concerned just because I just feel like he's the only target they can hone in on him. I know Bryce Young has been great. I want to lean on that as well. But I think there's also a narrative where they can just lock him down, which not saying it was Jamar Chase, just Jamar Chase, but they locked down T. We were all upset about T, and now you just have Adam Thielen, who is 30-something years old. So
yeah,
that's the only concern, but I'm still going to be starting Thielen in the leagues that I have him in.
All right, that was 7, right? Let's go Spencer Leon. Says start Brian Thomas or DK. I'm going to go DK here still. I do like Brian Thomas, but you are relying on Mac Jones. Ultimately, that's enough for me to kind of like, you know.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
Tough. All right, question 8 out of 10. Let's go to Mansters. I don't think we've heard from him. Devonta Smith or Waddle? And I'm wishing
Waddle.
I didn't click on that question because I have no idea. But yeah, I'm gonna go Waddle. There's just been more life recently.
Yeah.
All right, question 9 out of 10. Let's go. Trev the Goat. Tracy, Thielen, Rome, Downs, Sincere, pick one. I think Tracy is your safest play there.
Yeah, I'm there with you.
And Thielen is your upside. So if you want safety, I think it's Tracy. If you want upside, it's Thielen.
I'm right there with you.
And, you know, JJ said, what are good defenses for the rest of the year? You know, that's a great segue for me to kind of talk about a video I released on Monday, which was called 10 players set to dominate in fantasy playoffs. So I'll link this video in the chat for you guys. I talk about kickers. I talk about defenses at the end of the video. But I think off the top of my head, the Colts and the Cardinals are ones that might be widely available that are good options. And then the last one here, 10th question. Sorry, guys, we can't answer everybody's. This is the 10th. This is the last one. We'll go Trophy Stealer, who says Sam Darnold or Bo Nix and Kupp or Evans. I'm going to start Bo Nix there.
Yeah, brother Bo with you.
And then I'm going to start Mike Evans.
I agree.
All right, we're on the same page. Okay, guys, that is it for today. Again, I'm so sorry if we didn't get to everybody's questions. We will be live tomorrow. Okay,
sorry. I will start Cooper Kupp. Sorry.
Okay, you're going Kupp over Mike. That's fair.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay.
Sorry.
So we will be live tomorrow. If you want to prioritize your questions, you can get them in on the website. If there are any questions on the site, that's where we'll start the stream. But yeah, we'll be live tomorrow. We'll see you guys then. Again, go subscribe to the Dynasty channel. Go check out, you know, the videos. My rankings are actually up and available to you because my start sits that are already on the channel, wide receivers and running backs, my rankings are actually in those videos if you guys realize. So yeah, go check that out. Good luck this week. All love. We'll see you soon.
Love.